There's a moment you can't quite explain. You're sitting across from someone you trust, her words smooth and steady. Yet somewhere inside, a quiet alarm begins to hum. It's in the flicker of her eyes when you mention the future. The tiny twitch at the corner of her mouth that disappears before your mind can name it. You tell yourself you're imagining things. Don't be paranoid. But the feeling stays. Her face seems to be whispering a story her words are trying to bury. That uneasy pull in your stomach. We all know it, don't we? It's the instinct that says something's off, even when every sentence sounds right. Most of us learn to silence that instinct, to trust logic over intuition. But what if that quiet alarm isn't paranoia at all? What if it's your subconscious mind noticing a language that moves faster than speech? A language written in flickers of emotion, half a second of truth before the mask returns. This is the world of microexpressions, involuntary leaks of real feeling. And before we go further, one truth needs to be clear. This isn't about catching someone lying. Science has never found a single look that means, I'm lying. What microexpressions reveal isn't deceit, it's emotion. They show what someone feels, not necessarily why they feel it. Think of them as emotional lightning, tiny bursts of authenticity. When someone hides an emotion, their brain works overtime to hold the mask in place. But for a fraction of a second, the truth escapes. A flash of fear behind forced confidence. A flicker of contempt behind a sweet smile. A tremor of sadness beneath a calm reply. It's not proof of a lie. It's proof that a deeper emotion is fighting to breathe. And maybe that's what your gut has been trying to tell you all along. That strange tension in her voice wasn't just tired. That distant look wasn't nothing. Your intuition saw it first. Your mind just needed a name for it. So before we talk about how to read these moments, remember this. You're not becoming a detective. You're becoming fluent in the language of truth that lives beneath words. Because sometimes, the most honest thing a person says is what flashes across their face before they can stop it. Now let's slow down the blink and see what that language looks like. There's something about fear it never asks permission to appear. It slips through even the strongest masks, flashing across the face before the mind can catch it. You might see it when you speak about the future. When you say next spring or our trip and, for a fraction of a second, her eyes widen as if something deep inside flinched. It's the body's way of protecting itself from a truth it doesn't want to face. Fear doesn't always mean deceit. Sometimes it means the future feels too fragile to hold. But fear always points somewhere real. And then there's that other expression, the one that stings more quietly. Contempt. It's not anger. Anger still cares. Contempt doesn't. It's a flicker, the lift of one corner of the mouth that says, without words, I'm above this. You might catch it in a half sneer as she says, don't be silly. It's gone in a heartbeat, but it leaves a trace like smoke after a flame. Contempt is the opposite of connection. It's not always born of deceit. Sometimes it's defense. But once it settles in, respect starts to wither, and love begins to lose oxygen. Sadness, though, is the gentlest betrayal. It hides in small tremors, the way the lips dip or the inner brows lift in apology. You talk about dreams, a house, a future, and she smiles. But her face folds inward for a moment, as if mourning something unseen. That isn't sentimentality, it's grief. a quiet recognition that the dream you're describing no longer lives in her the way it once did. Sadness doesn't lie. It simply reveals the distance between words and belief. And then there's the smile, our favorite disguise. We trust it too easily because it feels safe, familiar. But not all smiles are born equal. A real one reaches the eyes, softens them, makes them sparkle. The false one stops at the mouth, all teeth and tension. You'll see it when you ask if everything's okay, and she beams too quickly, too wide. The eyes stay empty. It's the kind of smile that's meant to end the conversation, not heal it. It's not always deceit. Sometimes it's exhaustion. Sometimes fear. But either way, it's a smile performing instead of feeling. Then there are the eyes themselves, windows that move faster than thought. When truth flows, the gaze stays steady, unforced. But when the mind begins to juggle story and reaction, the eyes betray the effort. Blink rates double, glances dart, searching for escape. You'll see it when you mention something that shouldn't matter but suddenly does. A location turned off. A timeline that doesn't add up. The body scrambles while the voice stays smooth. Truth is effortless. Invention is tiring. And the eyes grow restless under its weight. Some betrayals don't even need words. They live in tension. The jaw tightening, the lips pressed thin until they almost disappear. It's the body physically holding back something unsaid. You might see it in the pause before a denial, in the silence between, "I swear," and "nothing happened." The jaw speaks louder than the sentence. It says, "I'm holding something in," even if the person doesn't yet know what that something is. Anger, guilt, restraint, whatever it is, the truth is pressing against the teeth, begging to be released. And finally, the subtlest one of all, the flick of the eyebrows. A small, fleeting lift that appears just as the words, "I swear," or "No, there's nobody else," leave the mouth. It's not fear or surprise. It's doubt. The body asking a question the mind refuses to voice. Certainty doesn't flinch. When the eyebrows rise in contradiction, you're watching conviction and performance collide in real time. It's not proof of a lie, but it is proof of conflict. All of these moments, the fear, the contempt, the sadness, the smile that doesn't reach the eyes, the restless gaze, the tightened jaw, the uncertain brows, are fragments of the same thing, emotion escaping its cage. Each one lasts less than a blink, but together they form a quiet map of the human heart. None of them alone means someone's deceiving you. They simply show you where the story has cracks, where the spoken truth doesn't match the emotional one. And maybe that's all you ever needed, not proof, just a way to understand what your intuition has been whispering all along. Because sometimes the most revealing part of a conversation isn't the words exchanged, but the flicker of emotion that tries to hide between them. And if you learn to see that flicker, not to accuse but to understand, you stop chasing certainty and start hearing what's real. Not every silence is empty. Some are heavy with everything that's been left unsaid. When you begin to see the tiny betrayals of the face, the flickers of fear, the fleeting contempt, the tremor of sadness, you realize these moments aren't random. They're fragments of truth trying to survive in an environment where honesty feels dangerous. Every concealed emotion leaves an echo. And when you start hearing those echoes, the world you thought you knew begins to shift. You notice the distance first. It's subtle, like a dimming light that no one else seems to see. The laughter still comes, but it no longer fills the room. Conversations turn careful, rehearsed, full of words meant to sound right instead of feel right. And beneath it all, the body keeps leaking the truth. The downcast glance, the forced smile, the sigh that comes half a beat too late. You don't need to accuse. You just need to see. Because the moment you start noticing, the illusion starts to crumble. But this awareness comes with a cost. Once you see the hidden language, you can't unsee it. Every twitch, every pause, every sudden stillness becomes a question. The dinner table turns into a quiet interrogation. You want to believe her, yet your eyes won't let you. That's the danger of knowing. It gives you clarity, but it also takes away comfort. The world becomes sharper, more honest, but also lonelier. Because when you finally see the truth, you realize how much of what we call love is built on the gentle mercy of not looking too closely. Still, awareness doesn't have to destroy connection. It can rebuild it. The trick lies in what you do with what you see. Most people confront with accusation. You're lying. I saw that look. But truth can't grow in fear. The moment you turn the observation into a weapon, the other person retreats deeper into silence. Their face becomes a mask again, and all the subtle honesty you were starting to glimpse disappears. What you need instead is curiosity, the courage to ask without attacking, to observe without judgment. You could say, softly, "When I mentioned the future, you looked scared. It made me feel like maybe something's wrong." That's not a trap, it's an invitation. It says, "I see you," but it also says, "You're safe to tell me why." Because sometimes, the emotion you think is deceit is really just fear of conflict. Sometimes it's guilt for something small that grew too heavy to confess. Sometimes it's pain that has nothing to do with you at all. Reading Microexpressions isn't about catching lies. It's about catching pain before it hardens into distance. And yet, we rarely do. Most of us see discomfort and look away. We change the subject, laugh a little louder, pretend we didn't notice. Because seeing means you might have to act. You might have to ask the question that changes everything. So we stay blind, and the silence grows. But she feels it too, the quiet shift. The way your eyes now linger too long. The way you start to measure every smile. And if the space between you stretches long enough, both of you start speaking in defense rather than truth. There's a moment, always, when the face goes blank. It's the calm after too many small lies. The features smooth out. The eyes stay steady. The voice becomes perfect. That's when you should worry most. Because when someone stops leaking emotion, it's not honesty that's returned. It's detachment. They've built a wall inside, and behind it, everything you used to know is fading. You're not looking at deception anymore. You're looking at absence. The microexpressions have gone quiet because the person has given up trying to be understood. But if you're lucky, you'll see one more flicker, not of fear or contempt, but of longing. A momentary softening of the face, a look that says, "Please, notice me before it's too late." That's the signal worth everything. That's the moment to reach across the table, to stop trying to decode and start trying to connect. To say, "I don't know what's happening, but I want to understand." Because underneath all the masks, all the involuntary truths, There's still a human being trying to be seen, not studied. The irony is that the face that betrays also saves. It betrays the lie, yes, but it also saves what's left of sincerity. Each involuntary twitch, each blink of doubt, is a small rebellion of the soul against its own disguise. And when you learn to see it with compassion instead of suspicion, you start to understand that every betrayal was really a cry for honesty. Her face isn't your enemy. It's her last way of asking to be heard. So watch closely, but gently. Don't turn the truth into a verdict. Let it be an opening. Because if you can meet those fleeting confessions with empathy, the conversation doesn't end, it deepens. You move past the words, into the space where two people stop performing and start existing. And maybe that's where trust is born again, not in perfect honesty, but in the courage to see the imperfect truth and stay anyway. So now you've seen what most people never notice. You've learned to read the flicker in the eyes, the tremor at the corner of a smile, the way silence thickens when truth hides beneath it. You've crossed the line between comfort and clarity, and there's no way back. But the question that remains is the hardest one. What do you do with what you've seen? The first impulse is confrontation. You want to name it, to force the truth into daylight. But honesty born from fear never lasts. When you lead with accusation, people don't open, they barricade. The truth doesn't bloom under interrogation, it wilts. So, before you speak, breathe. Remember that what you're witnessing isn't just deceit, it's emotion, trying and failing to survive the weight of expectation. Instead of saying, "You lied to me," you can begin with what is undeniably yours, your feeling. When I asked, I felt a flicker of panic in you. It made me feel distant, unsure. Those words don't attack, they reveal. They turn the spotlight inward, saying, "I'm here to understand, not to accuse." And sometimes, that small shift changes everything. Because when someone feels safe enough to be seen in their discomfort, the mask begins to fall on its own. It's important to remember that even an innocent person under suspicion will show signs of stress. The same flash of fear, the same tightening of the jaw. They're not always hiding guilt. Sometimes they're hiding the pain of being doubted. Context is everything. One tremor means nothing. A pattern tells the story. Learn her baseline, the rhythm of her voice when she's calm, the pace of her breathing when she's at peace. The deviation, not the expression itself, is where meaning hides. But even then, even when you've gathered all the signs and lined them up in your mind, truth isn't something you extract, it's something you build. You build it through consistency, through gentleness, through the courage to keep listening, even when it hurts. Truth is slow. It doesn't rush to meet demands. It reveals itself to patience. There's another kind of truth, though, the one inside you. For too long, you may have doubted your own intuition, told yourself you were overreacting. Learning to read these small signals isn't about controlling others. It's about coming home to your own perception. It's being able to say, "I'm not crazy. I saw something real." That awareness is freedom. It's the quiet confidence that you can trust what your body tells you, even when words around you try to rewrite the narrative. Still, clarity doesn't always bring comfort. Sometimes, seeing the truth breaks something. Sometimes, it confirms what you prayed wasn't real. When that happens, remember this. The pain of truth is cleaner than the poison of uncertainty. To know is to heal. To not know is to stay trapped in the loop of guessing and hoping. If what you've learned leads to an ending, let it be an honest one. Because endings built on clarity become beginnings built on peace. But if both of you are willing, if the person across from you meets your honesty with their own, then truth can rebuild what deception fractured. It starts small. One honest moment. One conversation where neither of you hides. Trust isn't something you decide. It's something you practice. Day after day, small act by small act, until the body relaxes again and the eyes stop flickering. Until silence feels like comfort again, not danger. And if you're standing on the edge of that decision, wondering how to begin again after the truth has come out, that's what comes next. There's a way to rebuild, a process that turns pain into something living again. We'll walk through it in the next chapter. The 5 steps to rebuild trust after deception. Because seeing the truth was never the end of the story. It was the beginning of knowing how to love with your eyes open. For now, let this be enough. You saw what was hidden. You listened to what was silent. You trusted what your intuition whispered. That's not paranoia. That's awareness. And awareness, however painful, is the first form of freedom. Because the truth, once seen, doesn't destroy you. It only asks that you stop pretending not to see it. And sometimes, that's the bravest thing love can do.